Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a very special video that is delighting me so much I can barely contain my excitement. Letecia Stauch, the Colorado stepmom who, I'm required to say this for legal reasons, allegedly murdered 11-year-old Gannon Stauch earlier this year and who has been rotting away in a Colorado jail ever since, has written a letter to the judge on her case stating a number of concerns and complaints she has regarding her treatment during confinement, as well as the fact that she feels that her constitutional rights are being violated. Aw, poor T. She's not happy. If you are not familiar with this case, Gannon Stauch was reported missing on January 27th of 2020 by his stepmother, Letecia Stauch, in Colorado Springs, Colorado. She initially informed the El Paso County Sheriff's Department that Gannon had left their home that afternoon to go to a friend's house and he never returned home. Because the report made by Letecia on the 27th was classified as a report for a juvenile runaway, Gannon was not considered missing and endangered until January the 30th. According to the police investigation, Gannon's biological father was out of town for work that day that Gannon went missing, and Gannon was left solely in Letecia's care. 2 months later, Gannon's body was found in Pace, Florida, and Letecia Stauch was charged with first-degree murder. Now, because I believe in playing fair, Letecia has maintained her innocence since her arrest, and she declares her innocence a number of times in her letter to the judge, you know, to make sure he's well aware of the fact in the event she gets an incompetent jury and they try to return a guilty verdict or something. Then he can set them straight right away. Damn incompetent juries. Piss me off. If you've been watching my videos for a while, I know you think you know where I'm going next, but I'm not. I've decided that referring to the jury in the Casey Anthony case as incompetent in every video is not necessarily fair. I mean, after all, I was not there to evaluate their massive levels of incompetence in person. I just found it overwhelmingly obvious based on the verdict they returned, coupled with the interviews they did subsequent to the trial. So, to be fair, and to avoid sounding like a broken record going forward, I shall refrain from referring to that jury as incompetent in every video. But I reserve the right to call them incompetent in every other video as I see fit. I think that's fair. I know you can all picture me sitting here at my computer with my glass of peace porter and plate of fresh mozzarella and crackers judging everyone. But when you have a YouTube channel, you can do that. It's a life of luxury. So, before I get into all the fun of tearing Letecia Stauch's letter up, I just want to let you know that I'm only doing this because I don't live in Colorado. If I did, I would be keeping my big mouth shut about this case. Why? Because if I lived near where the trial was going to be taking place, I'd be trying like hell to get on that jury. I'd be wishing and hoping and praying like mad that they'd select me. I know, I wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell, but I'd still try to manifest it. I've never been selected to be a juror, and I've always wanted to be. If I had been a juror in the Casey Anthony case, I would have hung that jury so fast their heads would have spun. For those of you future jurors out there, most states, if not all now, require unanimous verdicts in criminal cases. So all it would have taken was little old me to get Miss Casey tried all over again. Okay, back to tea. Just so you know, I normally wouldn't condone ridicule for fun. But Letecia doesn't count after what she did to poor Gannon. Sorry, allegedly did to poor Gannon. I've already tried and convicted her in my mind, so I keep forgetting that she's considered innocent until proven guilty in the eyes of the law. It's too bad that they're going to spend all that time and money trying her, only to come to the same conclusion that I've already come to. But she does have the right to a fair trial, and I didn't give her any rights when I tried her in my head. I mean, she claims to have a doctorate in education, which I call BS on, but I figured if she's that smart, she should be able to defend herself just fine. Unfair, I know. So when I got a copy of the letter she sent to the judge and read that she felt that her constitutional rights were being violated, I thought I'd give her the benefit of the doubt and read what she had to say. Until she signed it Dr. Letecia Stauch. Then the gloves came off. Now in my eyes, she's fair game. So, let's see what has gotten Dr. Stauch's knickers all in a twist now, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to read the letter exactly, word for word, as she wrote it. So, if things don't make sense to you, I don't know what to say. She holds a doctorate. I don't. So, if I disagree with something that she said, if I were you, I would go with her. And I would put me in check real quick in the comments. All right. This letter is dated August 12th of 2020. It's for Judge Gregory Warner of District 15. Now, she printed this letter, but she printed it terribly. So I may have difficulty in some parts. You'll have to forgive me. Here we go. Good afternoon, sir. I thank you for taking the time out to read my letter and my concerns about an unfair process that is going on in my case. I have expressed these concerns several times to my defense team and feel that I have not been afforded my rights as a United States citizen. Oh, poor thing. Funny, I don't think Gannon was afforded his rights as a United States citizen either, when he was denied his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness when you killed him. But let's continue. It has been 5 months, and I've met with my defense team one time in March of 2020. It is the middle of August. I understand this pandemic is unforeseen, but I don't feel I should... Hold on. I don't feel that I should be held unconstitutionally, denied access to my attorneys, constitutional rights violated, and be abused in the process. Well, I agree with the first three. First, as you know, there is over 30,000 and growing pages of discovery in my case. There is over 30,000 and growing pages of discovery in my case. Again, she holds a doctorate, not me. Go with her. I cannot successfully participate in my defense in phone calls 3 times a week for 1 hour from the jail. I have no way to view any videos, read any reports, review phone data, etc. I guess. I'm not an active participant in my case. I know that the jail is listening to my attorney-client calls, as on several occasions I commented about someone or something specific, and the jail immediately acted upon it. Officers also wait outside the door, easy to hear, and sometimes a video camera is on at the TV near the phone. Sir, these things are a violation of my rights. In addition, I have no way to write things down, as I am always restrained, with more times than not causing injury. Wow, I guess that's because they think you murdered someone. So they keep you restrained so you can't do it again. I don't know. Just me, maybe. I understand you cannot tell the jail how to run their facility, but I know that I can't ignore my rights being violated. Nor can we ignore Gannon's being violated. But anyway, next. Sir, I understand the Eighth Amendment protects cruel and unusual punishment. Damn. I didn't know that. I thought the Eighth Amendment protected against cruel and unusual punishment. If I knew that, I wouldn't even want to live in the U.S. anymore. I'm so glad I read this letter. I'm going to go research it, and if I find out that's true, oh my God, mind blown. Anyway, and I know the Supreme Court says punishment can be just for the crimes. However, I'm in a county jail, and I'm presumed innocent. P-E-R-S-U-M-E-D. Innocent. She's presumed innocent, guys. Not to mention, I am innocent, and we will prove it. Damn it. Damn it's not in the letter, but I just figured it belonged there. It sounded right, so I added it. Sorry. She's innocent, and she's going to prove it. Wow. I've been a pillar in my community in South Carolina. Pillar, P-I-L-A-R. I have no adult record, never done drugs, and have a doctorate degree in education. She never done drugs, guys, and she has a doctorate degree in education. Again, go with her, not me. I don't have a doctorate. I've proven myself as a responsible citizen and should not be subjected to the cruel punishment that I receive at CJC. Over 15 plus times I have been abused in transport, ranging from injured ribs, not on my head, several ankle and wrist bleeding, bruising on my knee in my cell, loss of feelings in my hands several times. I've had to be on insure for 2 weeks due to the poison comments. And just recently, on 8/11/2020, I received threats in my peanut butter because I provided evidence of not only my innocence, but evidence that will show who it was through my PI. Damn. She's got evidence of her innocence. And not only that, but of who actually did it. Shoot, I hope I'm not wrong about this. So, she got hurt during transport, but she never mentions the fact that she attacked the officers during her transport from South Carolina back to Colorado when she was being extradited. But, of course, that doesn't matter because it's all about Letecia, so I will continue. As a result of this, I assume their runners use people in trusted positions in jail to send me threats in my food, and I'm terrified of what will happen next. Not gonna lie, if people were threatening me in my peanut butter, I'd be so mad. I'm sorry. I don't want to re-record this video, and I don't know how to edit. So, you guys are just gonna have to deal with the fact that I think this is funny. Alright. I don't know. I'm supposed to properly defend myself. Going through this unfair punishment, being denied my constitutional rights, being denied access to my attorneys, being under scrutiny constantly, daily mental disturbances, being restrained causing injuries, being denied law library access, etc. This is not okay in a country in which our country prides itself on democracy, a country with a flag that got a hole in it at Flanders Field in World War I, one that turned blood red in World War II. Oh, this is getting good. Dramatic. Okay, I'm going to read it more dramatically. Or the one, I can't do that. Or the one that got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville. Through all this, the flag stood. We raised her up every morning because this country still stands for freedom, perseverance, justice, and vigilance. Wow, I love it. And I know what Congress decided on June 14th, 1777, Flag Day, that it still rings true that not even the evil terrorists of 9/11 can take the American spirit away. God, she's good. However, I am showing the same things that flag, oh my God, that flag stood for. Valor, courage, purity, and innocence to write to you today. Wow, she's getting him good. I bet he's good and buttered up. I do not feel like a U.S. citizen being treated this way in my beloved country. I wonder how much of a U.S. citizen Gannon felt like while he was being murdered. I'm not getting a fair process. I'm not getting represented properly. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt of a pandemic. She'll give the benefit of the doubt of a pandemic. But the other unjust treatment is not the way that our founding fathers intended this process to go. Well, damn. Good thing she laid that out for him. He may have forgotten. Not to mention, no pandemic, no terrorist attack, no police riots, etc., can stop our country from being the greatest on earth, upholding the law, and staying true to following one's constitutional rights. Wow, she's laying it on thick. This is just the surface of my concerns. As you will see, they only get worse with illegal search and seizure. I was a victim of coercion, Cohension, as it's mental and physical. I guess that's what she's trying to say. Sir, you can tell I'm educated. Well, gosh, I'm glad he can because I can't. I know Miranda versus Arizona, etc. Ooh, that must have just intimidated the shit out of him. However, a person cannot perform under the scrutiny, abuse, I guess coercion again, I don't even know, etc. And that's what has happened throughout this entire process. Besides, due to info from my PI, I don't even feel that El Paso has jurisdiction, not to mention the wrong individual. Well, good thing she's letting him know that, because damn, he may have thought, she might be guilty. I reach out to you to let you know that I'm very concerned with the process, because I know that you will uphold the integrity of the court. Oh, stroke his ego. Go, girl. The judicial system that I know does not allow a person who is presumed innocent, Persumed, but again, she holds a doctorate, not me, and who is, oh, and who is, to improperly defend themselves, again, letting him know that she is innocent, to be subjected to daily abuse and Eighth Amendment violations, does not deny Fifth and Sixth Amendment or speedy/fair trials, does not interfere with attorney-client privilege, privilegee. Yes, I can tell you many situations in which they know that they are listening. Does not physically, mentally, and emotionally abuse innocent people waiting on trial. What country is she living in? Does not allow that individual to be in danger, not just from inmates, but from employees also, and does not avoid these situations, causing an individual's mental health to decline and safety to be at risk. I don't even know if she's in the U.S. I live each day not knowing what will happen to me next. What person will put something else in my food? What rights will be denied tomorrow? Or what injuries will occur next? I support law enforcement. I support our military, our country, and I know that a few bad apples/incidents can ruin it for good people. I extend my concerns to you as a first step in this, because my attorneys have refused to let you know due to the public knowing. My life is on the line. Yeah, so is Gannon's. I'm innocent, and I'm ready to return home and use the doctorate degree that I worked diligently for. And I cannot do that if I am not afforded these rights, if I'm fighting for my life daily. I wonder how often Gannon might have had to fight for his life while you were threatening him. I'm clearly no threat to myself, she says, etc. I wonder if Gannon fought for his life while you were taking it away. Again, this is just the surface of my concerns, and ask that something is done so that I can get this behind me, move past this trial in life, forgive those who persecuted and afflicted me, which was a personal statement directed just to me, because I know she's talking about me right there because of everything I've said about her, but whatever, I'm just going to act like I didn't notice. Continue to be a soldier for Christ. Whoa. That's laying on way thick. But that's clever. And repair my mental state, and most importantly, grieve. Oh. All right. I'm going to continue. I'm not going to say anything. I need those constitutional rights in order to be successful and participate in this process. I'm a prisoner bound in chains, as you should be. Like Paul said, in parentheses, but I know my Bible's not bound. Wow. I also know he appointed people in authority, and to respect them because they are chosen to uphold the law. Oh, she is just stroking the ego of this judge like mad. He must love her by now. Please accept this as my letter of letting you know first, not going over the court's head. I wonder if that was a little threat. And following the appropriate chain of command. Something has to be done, sir. Thank you! Exclamation point. God bless. Dr. Letecia Stauch. P.S. If there is any way possible to receive acknowledgement of your receipt of this letter, so that I know you are aware. Well, okay, so Dr. Stauch is innocent. And I've been going on and on about how guilty she is. She just killed my credibility and ruined my YouTube channel. Now you guys are never going to believe a word I say again. And her PI can confirm it. Damn it. And I was so sure I was right about this one. And not only can her PI confirm it, but he can also prove who did do it. I have a question. If her PI has evidence that will prove who killed Gannon, doesn't he have an obligation to turn that over to the police so they can investigate? I mean, if they did, and they found that someone other than Dr. Letecia killed Gannon, wouldn't they arrest that person and release Letecia from custody? I mean, I'm just asking, because that makes sense to me. Because you don't want a child killer out on the loose, right? Wouldn't she be screaming at her PI to get that evidence to the authorities immediately? Because if she doesn't, and she holds the proof until her trial, she could be unjustly locked up for years. You'd think that doctorate would kick in at some point and she'd think of that. I'm no attorney, but if she had a PI on her case, wouldn't he or she be working with her attorney to build her case? If so, then wouldn't her attorney also have this information? I would imagine her attorney would act on it to get her released and get her all the apologies she thinks she deserves from everyone. I mean, shouldn't Gannon's dad be entitled to know that there's evidence that Gannon was murdered by someone other than Letecia? I'm sure he'd rather apologize to Letecia for falsely accusing her and get his son's real killer if given the opportunity. I know I would. I know I'm pointing out the obvious to you, but apparently she doesn't think so. I mean, she thinks she can fool the judge. Did you notice that she said she needs to get out and put the trial behind her so she can grieve? So she hasn't grieved yet? It's been 5 months. If she didn't kill him, then how has she not been devastated this whole time? Sounds to me like she's being so self-absorbed that Gannon's death hasn't affected her much. She just hasn't had time to think about it. She's too busy worrying about herself. And really, she didn't say grieve for Gannon, did she? She just said grieve. Maybe she doesn't mean for Gannon. Maybe she means for herself and everything she was put through. I wouldn't doubt it. She sounds like quite the narcissist to me. She does have the right to privacy when it comes to communicating with her attorney, though. Her attorney will have to find a way to allow her to actively participate in her defense, or she's going to have grounds for an appeal like crazy. Especially if she can prove that she was unable to engage in confidential conversations with her attorney. If there are over 30,000 pages of discovery already, she isn't going to trial anytime soon. Her attorney is going to need time to go through all that discovery with her, and that's going to take forever. Not to mention, I think they're going to have to file for a change of venue. Since such an extensive search for Gannon took place in Colorado Springs, I doubt there are too many people in the jury pool who didn't know about it and haven't already formed an opinion about her guilt or innocence. So there you have it. People are threatening Letecia in her peanut butter, and she's pissed. I have to say I would be too. I love peanut butter, and I don't want anybody ruining that for me. Personally, I would use ketchup. Not only is it a more appropriate color to use for a killer, sorry, alleged killer, but I think my penmanship would be better. Presentation's important, you know. All the best chefs say so. Should we feel sorry for her because she's getting threatened in jail? No. I wonder how many times she threatened Gannon. Or maybe she never warned him about how she felt about him. Maybe she lied to him and he believed she loved him until his dad left town and she had the chance to eliminate him from her life. We don't know anything about their relationship. He could have lived in fear of her for all we know. But what I do know is that she's a damn liar. She doesn't have a doctorate, or she wouldn't write like a 7-year-old. She lied about everything that happened that day that Gannon went missing to protect herself. She ran to South Carolina because she thought she was smarter than the police and she wouldn't get caught. And now she knows you've got her, that they've got her and she'll never be free again. So she's already laying the ground for her appeal. I don't have an ounce of sympathy for Letecia Stauch, but I would fight for her to have unlimited access to the law library, her attorney, her PI, whatever she wants. Give it to her. Let her fight like hell to try to prove she's not guilty. Because she can't. But in her mind, she can. Because she thinks she's smarter than everyone else. So let her be. Let her think she's got this. Make sure she knows that she's looking at life in prison without the possibility of parole. Then offer her a deal of 50 years, or a sentence that Gannon's father can live with, to get her to give up who transported Gannon's body to Florida and placed him under that bridge. Unless they can somehow prove she did it. Because remember, unless I've missed something, we still don't know who transported Gannon. If anybody has read any reports that state that the police know who did, please link them in the comment section because I haven't found any. If there were any, I'm sure there would have been an arrest by now. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you on my next video.